And thank you for your patience, everybody. Jazz, can you move around a little bit so I can just confirm that this is still working properly? Thank you. Alright, so here's what we're doing today. I gave it a shot before, I had some camera issues. We're trying it again right now. I'm Mark. I am True Poker Dealer on YouTube. I help teach people to be poker dealers, and I've been doing it for years and years and years. I've been working in the casino industry, specifically in poker, since back in 2007. And right now, this is a practice session for pot limit, big O, 8 or better. So it's a high-low game. Everybody gets 5 cards. You must use exactly 2 from your hand and exactly 3 from the board. You can let's bring all these back, and while I'm sort of just talking about this again, we can dive back a little bit here. So we got an echo, I'm sure. I'm fixing that now. So basically, in case you missed it, this is Jazz. She was on my live stream recently, and we are live from Texas Card House in Dallas, when you can hear people announcing a game right now. And basically, Jazz wanted some practice before she actually starts working in this room, dealing this particular game, because they do spread this every single day here. Pretty cool game, but you know, 5-card Omaha high-low with pot limit, all this stuff. You know, you want a little practice, even if you're an experienced dealer. So you guys get to benefit from that, and I'm going to do this live for all of you. And let me just see this here. Does this work? No. So she's going to get started by pitching out the cards. If you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat. I will get to questions at the end of each hand is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do one hand. We're going to talk through it. I'm actually going to play these hands sort of for real, not completely, but I'm doing it that way just so that it's a little bit more real, because one thing about this game is you can sort of get a feel for the showdown, and if people are playing for real, it makes it a lot easier to get that feel. So I sort of figured that made sense to do. Alright, now we got an echo, that's good, and I'm doing that just so when I walk around the table it works. Okay, so alright, so we have slightly worse sound, but that's how we're going to do it right now in order to make this good. I got my AirPods in. And so she's already dealt out all these hands, and we're going to start playing. And remember, this is a high-low game, so half the pot goes to the highest hand, half the pot goes to the low hand if there's a qualifying one. I can see already that this player likes this. And so last time we established with 1-2 blinds, we are saying that this counts as 15 is the max bet right here, so we say pot right there. Now, my experience with this game, having dealt it in this particular room, is most of the time you don't see a pot and then a repot pre-flop. It's mostly a flop game. You'll see one person maybe raise it, then a bunch of callers, and then they sort of go for it from that point. This player is just feeling like it, so they'll call. And not this player. This player, though. And let's see. Sure. And I'm just looking at these hands to try to make this sort of realistic. I'm not doing a perfect job of it, but all right.
So, is this $5?
Yes, that's a great question. In this game, if you have loose change left over, you round it up when you consider the calculation of the pot. So as a pot limit game, she's figuring out basically how much is in the pot all the time. Now, one thing that you need to do if you're dealing this game is you always need to announce the number of players.
Oh, 5.
No, you don't just say the number 5. You're going to need to, yeah, there you go. Let's see. This is a check. This player over here, I don't want to walk around that side of the table. This player will check. Does anyone want to help? Yeah, they don't. This player is going to. They'll bet. They're going to bet 25. And this player is going to call. By the way, I want to say I don't play this game, so I'm not going to say I know the right strategy on this. Um, and so therefore, I'm just not going to say it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the right strategy in this game is. This player will call. And you still want to announce the number of players, just for the heck of it. Let's see. This player checks. Coming over here. This player checks, and this player says pot.
165.
Are you sure?
I think.
Wait. Are you counting it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not really supposed to do that, but if you have to, you can. But you would do it by like actually cutting it out, right?
Oh, 155.
Right. So let's actually go through the action and say what happened. So we had 15 times
5.
5, right? Plus 5. So
8.
that's 80. And then we had 25 times
3.
3 is 75. So 155.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this player puts out, and they typically do put the right amount out once you say it to them. That player is going to fold, and this player will call.
Little bit of stack as I go.
That's yeah, it's probably the best way to do it. You might just you can bring the river. You might just want to like sort of bring it in and have it go like that a bit, where uh, you bring it in, you get it toward the center, and then you stack it after you bring the card. But stacking it, if it's easy to just grab them and stack it, it's totally fine to do that. So this player is going to check, and we'll say this player checks as well. So then I'm going to go like this to make it a little bit harder, but typically they're going to show you what they have. So the first thing you want to do in this is, instead of looking at the hands, as the river comes out, you want to look at the board here. All right. And I'm teaching them as much as I'm teaching you right now. So you look at the board here and you think to yourself, okay, a full house is going to be strong in this hand for the high. And the nut low is really easy to find, right?
Um,
So what's the best possible low hand that somebody could have in this board?
would it be like deuce 4?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be four deuce. It's going to be the nut low in
Is
this
that how I
case.
say it? 4 deuce instead of deuce 4?
Yeah, I mean, you would say it sort of depends on the situation. Almost what's like, um, if there's four low cards out there, then you would read it as a seven low with a live deuce or something like that, or it would be a six low, or it would be, you'd say, using the four deuce, or you'd say a wheel or something like that. But if you always want to be right about it, it's best to say seven low with a four deuce. If you want to, because that's the cleanest and clearest, right? That is what the low is. It's a 7-4. So maybe a 7-4 is the easiest way for you to announce it. But for the most part, you can just point out in this case if someone has that. So why don't you read what each player has for a low?
Okay, so they have a deuce 4 low, which is a nut low.
Yeah, but you always start with a higher card when you're saying it.
So start with the higher?
No, I'm saying you say the four
Oh,
deuce.
4 deuce.
Yeah,
So they have 4 deuce low. Is that how I say it?
it's 7-4. Yeah. So it's a 7-4 trade deuce ace. So it's a 7-4 low.
I see, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And they have a 4-3. Well, wouldn't that be considered a pair?
Yeah, they don't have a 4-3 low because
So it'd
that's
be a
only.
4-8.
So again, they have an 8-7 low. So you're looking at it as five separate cards. What
So
did
the
you? You
3
probably
doesn't
learned
count.
this like 5 years ago, right? And
Yeah.
barely ever dealt it.
The 3 doesn't count because that would make it a pair, right?
Yeah, it has to be five separate cards all the way through.
Like 5 different cards.
Five different ranking cards. Yeah.
Okay. So these are their lows.
Yeah. I'm just checking with the live stream to see if anybody's here and can hear me. Yeah, we got some people watching. So these are their, but you always want to start with a high. So the first thing you do in any this is why we're practicing, right?
Okay.
Because the more you see this, the easier it is to figure out. So first of all, it is really important though. To be professional at this, you start with a high. So here you're looking for full houses. Nobody has a jack, nobody has a pocket pair. Okay, it's that simple.
Okay.
Okay, you look at what the board pairs with. Nobody has one of those, so therefore there's no jacks full. And then secondarily, you look for pocket pairs, aces, sevens, and trays. If there's no pocket pairs, nobody has a full house. So now what do you go to next?
The high.
What,
Would it be the high cards?
well, now you're looking for pairs, right?
Okay.
So somebody that has an ace is going to have two pair,
Mhm.
right? And we can see that because the jacks are going to be a part of their two pair. So the highest two pair you can have is ace king right there is actually the best possible two pair that you could have on this. And we see also that there's no possible flush. These are both hearts. These are both diamonds. That's a spade. So there's no flush. There's also no straight on this board, just the way that worked out. Some boards don't have straights. So the thing you would start with is you'd say, I see aces and jacks with a king for the high. And I'm sort of exaggerating this. You could say aces for the high or aces and jacks for the high. And then you would say the 7-4 low. So then this player is going to take it. And then you would take the other player's hand. They'd probably be like tossing it in knowing that they didn't win.
So, just so I know, this hand would it be like king three?
Good question. So the answer is yes. Their best their best poker hand that they have for their high is jacks and trays with a king.
And their low would be
8-7. They do have a qualifying low, yeah.
okay. But
So
these are the two cards that I would use.
right. As a dealer though, you don't like pull them out like that. You just read it.
Oh, okay.
Like if somebody doesn't see it, then you pull it out.
Okay. All right. So this hand loses.
Yeah.
And I just
And this player would have bet the river probably with a nut low. Maybe not, but
was it that hand?
yep. Yeah. It's a lot easier to remember when there's multiple players. All right, so now if I have any comments, I'm going to go answer the comments questions, then we'll deal another one. Why don't you pitch out in the next hand while we're going over and doing this again? And I'm just going to confirm that everything's working smoothly. Yeah, it looks good. All right. Yep. Yeah, everything continues to look good here. That's great. All right. So we're dealing out hand number 2 here. And we're going to start over here. So I'll start looking at these. Oh yeah, you're going to have to deal around obstacles. So I might as well give you one. This player would fold. This player would fold as well. Now, this can happen. This is a terrible hand in 5 card because, I mean, getting 3 8s doesn't do anything for you. You could argue that the kings are suited, so maybe you'd play it, but it's a high-low game and you have no shot at the low, you know? So it's like,
So instead of playing a hand that you have a shot at the high and the low.
yeah, because then you can scoop. Scooping at this is how you win.
Okay.
I mean, and again, I'm going to reemphasize, I'm not great at this game, so I'm not going to say that my strategy is good strategy for playing. My purpose in playing right now is just to make it more realistic at Showdown, where you have people that are actually sort of competing for different things. Um, this player will call. Everything good over there? You got comments?
Good, good to know.
Good to go. I love it. All right, this player is going to raise. They say pot.
Okay, so this pot is going to be 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 30.
No.
Because these two are one.
Yeah, so this is not a $5 chip. This is a big blind for 2. They only had a $5 chip, so you got to remember that. And the thing that you did is great. You go, and this is what I do on the table. It's totally fine. You're just like, all right, they say pot. It's like, all right, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep.
Okay,
So it's 30. Let's see here. Yeah, this player will play, but they shouldn't be. This player will play.
Gloria0214 says this is awesome.
Oh, I'm glad she likes it. All right, everybody's gonna call. There we go.
Six players.
It's gonna go check, check. You put that. Thanks. This is like the same board that we had in the first session that we didn't end up using. They check. They check. 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 This type of a board, you're probably not going to get a ton of action. Um, let's go check, 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 and then this player is going to bet the pot.
180.
Is that right?
I think so. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180.
So everybody says she's right. Ish.
Alright, how do we get 185? Maybe somebody had an extra chip off? Because why wouldn't it be 180, right?
We're gonna have to look at the tape.
I think somebody might have had an extra chip out.
All right. So you let somebody pay 35?
Yeah.
All right.
It's my fault. I think it was like one of these players because it was just a stack of 30s.
All right.
Stack right.
So that is one thing. It's a good lesson of rule of thumb is anytime you have 6 chips or more, you always break it down before you pull it in. 6 chips or more. But yeah, so they're gonna bet 180. This would probably be a floor call, even though it's like lame. The players aren't gonna want to spend the time on it, but like you have an extra $5 in the pot. Um, let's see. Is anybody gonna call this? Oh, no. They'll call just for me. They're gonna call. And let's see, they'll fold. So reminder, you are as you're pulling the cards in, you're verifying that there's the right amount there. So every time you're verifying there's 5 cards, every time someone folds. I'm just sort of reminding us that. All right.
I've been trying to do that.
Yep. And let's see. It's gonna go check, 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 check. So they both show down.
So can I see if I know this one?
Yeah.
Alright, so there's no low, right?
And the reason you know that is because.
So there are 3 high cards here.
Right.
You can tell immediately on the flop that there's no low. There's 3 high cards.
Yep.
So I'm only looking for a high at this point, and the pot is basically only going to go to one person.
The pot is gonna be what?
It's going to go to one person.
Well, unless they have the same hand, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now.
So yeah, you might as well read what each player has for their high.
So for the high, this player has aces and tens with a 9.
That's correct.
And then this player has 3 nines.
That is not their high.
Oh, they have a full house.
Yep. And they would probably put that out for you. Like the way a player is probably going to table this is it's probably going to look like this. They're probably going to like look at their cards and they're probably going to throw these down.
Okay. And in that case, this player loses.
All right, now I'm going to go back to the comments and questions, and you can start pitching out the next hand. I'll clean this up a little, actually. First to act paid 5 more. Appreciate that. Uh, Instead of us going to the tape, someone noticed. It works out pretty nice.
Oh, this person.
Yeah. All right. You know what? We're gonna take the pot and give them $5 back because we have our own surveillance.
Thanks, surveillance.
Thanks, surveillance. Let's see. So, how are we doing here? We're doing all right. So the next hand's getting pitched out, and again, this is big O high low, and let's see. Sometimes it can be hard to remember how many cards you dealt. Usually, there's one player at the table who like leaves them out so that you can tell where you're at because they know from experience that it's just easier that way.
The thing that helps me is I go one.
I do that too, but then sometimes like this is the perfect time to have conversation with people too. So when the conversation happens, it's like tough. This player is going to throw out 5. Let's see. This player is going to throw out 5. I really don't know what types of hands all these players play, but there's a lot of people that flop a lot of these hands. So this player is going to do 15. Yep, that's all you say for that. Just raise. These are some weak hands, but whatever. Sure. Here, why don't you play this one? That way you sort of get a feel for playing it too. You can call with it just to like experience. There it calls. Let's see. Calls. Notice that she's continuing to stack up the bets as she takes them in very slowly. This is hard to watch, Jess.
When you started talking, you distracted me. I was counting as I went.
Oh, I gotcha.
There are 8 players.
You don't usually see it get up this high, but right now you do. Let's see. Check. Check.
By the way, is this okay?
No, it's weird. Check. I don't know why you would do that.
It's easier to count.
What do you mean count? No, it's you want to be a dealer. You're not trying to like count the pot. You're so as you're pulling these bets in, you're going it's 15 and you go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and you're doing the math.
Yeah.
So 8 times 15. How much is that?
1.
All right, so hold on before you answer. Okay. This stuff it's actually really good to know. This stuff becomes memorization after a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So 2 times 15 is 30.
Yeah, I was gonna do
Yeah.
that. 30, 60, 90.
Yeah, it's actually really good when you use your fingers too.
You said it's good when I use my fingers?
Count. There. This player is going to bet pot.
120. You're gonna ask me some shit?
No. What are you doing with your hand? Just go all in with your hand. Wait, actually, let me see it first. Yeah, just go all in with your hand. It's not. It's probably not what you would normally do, but let's get some action.
175.
All right. Does this player want to continue? Sure, I'll continue. This is like terrible play, but You know, I could be artificially creating lows, but we're gonna probably deal out enough hands where it's fine. Oh yeah, they're the ones that bet. All right.
Oh, they have to call.
Oh yeah.
No cheating, sir. No cheating.
You wouldn't say that.
But here, so it's like
They check and they bet 200,
here's all
and they just go all in. This isn't what players would really do, but it's like sort of there.
that's a call. Okay, so for the outside pot,
You can table it. It's fine.
this person has, I guess, no, I'm sorry. Jackson 10, two pair. They have two pair.
And again, you would be cool as a dealer, and
Oh,
you would just leave it there. But I like that you're doing it. Why don't you say it, and I'll frame it
okay.
so that the audience can see it. You know. Is this?
So Jackson 10,
Yep.
that's what that player has.
Yep.
And then this player has three. This player has a three.
We were asked, can we run through a pot then a repot scenario pre-flop? Sure.
They can grab it, and that's so they can see outside. Outside pot. No, they have the net three. So I'm thinking they have
Why don't you read this in?
they have queen. No, two pair, queens and jacks. I'm being cool. Like that.
No, you're not.
Queens and jacks.
Okay, so once again, if you're watching her frame it like that as a dealer, you just say queens and jacks, and the thing that you frame, you have something that you do frame as a dealer. You frame the board. So you read the hand, frame the board, and there's your. Yep. But that's what lost. So you're not actually going to do that. You're going to only frame the winning hand. But yeah, there you go.
So they want a pot and then a repot.
Yeah.
Fun.
So
One
now
is here, so this player went all in.
let's see.
Thank you.
Wait,
You don't do it as a dealer?
I do, but you're not supposed to ask me that on a live stream. I don't. Okay, hold on. This is True Poker Dealer School. So let's when we're spreading out money, I show this in some of these videos. All right, add an angle so you can see 3 points on each bill. All
Okay.
right.
Oh, that's how we did it at Creek.
No, you didn't. That's just
Well,
what some people did.
that's how I did it.
Right, I understand.
200. Don't mind my chip cutting.
Wow. Wait, no. Give 100 green.
Oh, okay. Is that type of game?
What's that?
Is that type of game?
Yeah, I mean you could have given all green in this. It's fine. Okay, no, I'll take that back. Thank you. God.
I have to do the thing.
So let's see. All right. So you wanted a pot and repot situation pre-flop. I'm gonna let it come up organically, but it'll happen. Oh wait, was there a player here?
There was a thing.
They busted too, huh?
Yeah, both of them.
All right. I'm gonna just give them 300. It's fine. Sure.
I can play these two next to me. I think that's easier.
Makes more sense than you playing the other hand. Yeah.
Player call. And this player call. Even look at you.
Yeah, this isn't the hand to pot and repot it pre-flop.
All right. Six player.
Check. 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 Check.
This player check. This player that's the pot, which is 190.
We'll just let you play. We'll just let you deal from now on.
Okay, 90. I
Yeah,
was thinking 190.
that's 90. 15 times 6. Uh, this is a fold. So, from a playing standpoint, hands that you would want on this board would be like an ace deuce four would be great, especially if it's a suited ace of spades. Um, this player will. This player says pot.
270 plus 90 is 360.
Yep. This player folds. This player says pot.
1180.
Almost. So 360 times 3 is 360 times 3. So let's do 350 times 3 is that not easier for you?
I think I do is 300 times 3.
All right.
900 and 60 times 3 is
180. 360 or 60 times 3 is 180. So that's 1080
1080.
plus you get 90 plus 90, right?
Oh, because this.
You were wrong anyway, but 90 plus 90 is another 180. So it's 1080 plus 180 is nope. So it's 1080 plus 90 is 1170 plus 90 is 1260. Yeah. Now, to be fair, it doesn't matter because this player doesn't even have that much, but we were doing it just to do it. So now you're going to go like this. And they're calling out a turn because these stacks are short, and I'm just trying to make this hand move a little faster. So, all right, let's have this one go all in.
Yeah, that pots now?
Yes. I want everyone to see how that works.
So I'm going to start here with the lowest stack. That is 285. So I'm going to put 285 in the main.
Notice she's still stacking up the colors. And she clearly displays it for everybody.
Alright, now this stack is lower. That counts, right?
No. The loose change isn't playing a 1-2-5 game.
Okay. This player has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 595. Um, 95. This is going to be the side pot. I'm going to put right here. Just kidding. I'm going to put the side pot right here because it's easier.
That was a good one. Yep.
Alright. So no more action. This player is for the main. These two players are for the main and the outside. Alright, so for the outside pot, there is no low here.
That's correct.
And they have 3 threes. And the king, 10.
So just to talk this through really quickly, hands that you're looking for. First, you're looking for spades. No, they don't have that because you do have 3 spades here. The board's not paired, so there's no full house possible. Then you're looking, if there's no spades, you're looking for a straight because this would give a straight if someone had queen jack, which that's not there either. And then after that, you're looking for 3 of a kinds, and they do have one of those.
So they have that. This player, their best hand is going to be 2 pairs.
Yep,
10
tens and
9,
nines.
which does not beat 3 3. So that player is the outside pot.
Yep.
Maybe something like this.
Yep, and in these split pot games, you do stack it like this. She still hasn't had to chop a pot yet.
So I'm going to muck this in. And then for the inside, there is no low, which this seems like this person is going for. And they do not beat 3 3. So their best hand is 4. Pair 4. So,
Yeah, it's a pretty rough run out for that hand, as they say. All right, can you please give the 2 players that lost like 300 green out of the well?
oh, and the well,
Yeah.
yeah, let me clear this up. Alright, so button me. So 3 is in, right? Thanks. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
How many you don't get tip more? All right, so I said that as a joke, of course. She was sarcastically saying, thanks, thanks, thanks so much. All right, so how'd you get 360 for the first pot bet? So that's a good question. The answer is it was a $90 pot and a $90 bet. And for a $90 bet, what you do is you say, okay, 3 times the previous bet, which is 270, plus the trail, which there was not any trail, meaning there weren't any other players that had put money in on that betting round. And then you add the pot, which was another 90. So it's going to be 270 plus 90 is 360. So we're gonna deal another hand, and whew, yeah, I guess I'll throw a pot and then a repot scenario in there. Why not? I feel like I should have brought water. Doing it. Going around and playing all these hands is definitely tiring. All right, I gotta take this out and charge it. Let's see. Does this still work okay? I'm just seeing if this sounds good. Yeah, it should still be fine. Cool. All right, now I'm gonna play all these hands again, so you can sort of get back to just concentrating on dealing now. Just deal, only deal, and it'll be better if you just sort of focus and put all your energy into that. So it is a good idea to announce when the first person calls that they're like calling five. Um,
Are you saying like practical?
well, when the first person throws five in, it's like $5, something like that. I don't know. I guess you don't really have to here. Um, can we get a low one time? Probably not. Um, pot, which is going for anyone watching, it's 3 times 25 is 75, plus 30 in the pot is 105. And on the table here, uh, all in.
190.
I don't want it to be the same amount.
Is the same amount?
Yeah, because we we gave him the same amount to start.
This person is all in for 220. Okay, so I'm gonna make 5 pots. This person is all in for 190.
Wait, stop for a second. Put it back. Okay, this is actually pretty easy to figure out. Okay, you're going to take instead of cherry picking 190 from everybody, you know that there's one, two, three players that have an extra $30, right? So how much is on the side?
90.
Yeah. So you literally just start taking the money, you put 90 on the side.
Here, why don't I make this
There you go.
stack pot?
We were all wondering if you were going to take the chips that were right here, but you did.
Okay, so this player is in for the main, everyone else is in for the outside.
Okay, and this player checks, and this player they bet 100, and they call.
Alright, showdown. Alright, so I'm going to
So
start.
as the dealer, just in case you don't know, you don't spread cards for a player. You let them table it as they table it.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to start with the outside pot.
Wait, what happened here?
This is the outside pot.
No, it's not. So what happened here was we had them all in for, was it 190? They went all in
Oh, they
for
have their own separate pot.
220. Yeah.
Okay,
So these players are in for, yeah, you got to keep track of that too.
okay. So it's them two in for this pot right here. So there are. There is a possible low here.
No, you start with the high. Let's
Okay,
start with the high.
start with the high.
So what are
So
you
the
looking
high here
for the
is
high?
going to be two pair, which is tens and sixes for the queens. Their high is going to be three queens. So they would take the high, and their low is ace five. And they do not have a low, so I'm going to chop the five.
Right. So it's a 6-5 4 tray ace low, and over here we said it was three queens.
So we're going to chop that.
And notice, if you're new to Omaha, this does not count as a full house. You got to use exactly two from your hand.
So that's that. Now for this pot, I'm going to include this player.
I think it was them.
Oh, okay. So their high is going to be kings, just kings, which does not be three queens. And their low is going to be ace deuce.
Yeah,
Which
they have the nut low.
yeah, that beats that low. So in this situation, let me see if I can figure this out.
Sure.
In this situation, they still have the high, and they don't have a high, and they don't beat this low, so this hand can be mucked at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So now them two are
You
gonna.
should probably mark that one too.
I wonder if they do this. So they're gonna split this pot.
No,
Oh, is it the three-quarter thing?
they split this spot.
That's not what I pointed at?
You pointed right here.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Something like that. We're gonna make change. That. Okay, so now this hand over here, I'm gonna bring it closer. They're high. King Jack.
They do have a pair of threes,
Deuce.
but
Oh, three. But that does not beat three queen. And a deuce three low does not beat an ace.
they don't have any low.
Oh, because the three, oh, and then deuces. Okay, yeah. So this hand is just completely mixed. So now
Yeah.
these two are just gonna chop this pot again.
Yes.
All right, cool.
So when doing this, just so that we can do this properly, it's the largest denomination chip should be closest to you. The next largest should be next closest. I hate doing that in a mess.
Yeah.
The worst. Yep. So you can split that up.
thank you. Thank you very much.
You sound like Elvis. No, you don't. Okay. Any questions as she deals out the next hand? Judith says, when working in the well, what's best practice for clearing your hands? Every time. So, all right, there's a couple things that Jazz did. I gotta call her out because she's being recorded on this live stream. First of all, she went hand to hand while she was in the well. She like took some chips with one hand and put them into her other hand. You're not supposed to do that.
What do you mean?
Like you took some chips like this and you put them in this hand right directly. You're never supposed to do that. In poker, it's less of a big deal than in table games, honestly. But yeah, you're not supposed to do that. So the thing is, in table games. Wait, is this camera working? Yeah, it is. In table games, let's go over here. In table games, the amount of money that's in the well is always variable, so it's not the same amount all the time. In poker, you have the exact same amount of money in the well all the time, so these rules don't matter quite as much in poker, but it's still good to train yourself properly so that there's as little risk as possible for the casino and yourself. But yeah, you're never supposed to pick chips up in one hand and then put them in another. um, Now, to answer your question, you are supposed to clear your hand every time you go out of the well. As soon as you're done touching money or chips in the well and you do whatever you're going to do with it, you should be clearing your hands. However, that's not a universal thing in poker, because usually in poker there's a set amount of money that's in the well in advance. And in our case here, we started with 1,500 in this well. Now, I've just been telling her to give out chips, but you would never do that. You get cash in place for it, and then eventually you get a fill. So there's always the same amount of money in there at all times. So it's a little bit harder to steal because you know that it's missing like every 30 minutes when a new dealer comes to the table. So it's sort of a different thing. I tend not to worry too much about clearing hands, but I have also trained myself properly, and I teach people when you handle cash, you should clear your hands as soon as you're done, and when you go into the well, as soon as you come out and when you're done doing whatever you do, you should probably clear your hands as well. I say probably because this is one of those things that's really all over the map, casino to casino. A casino that has table games policies, or a big casino with table games, where the table games are really strict, they might also be strict in poker because the surveillance team is going to be the same team. Yeah, so stuff like that can happen. Alright, I'm going to go back over here. And we got our next hand there ready to go. And so, here we are. Sure. No. Sure. They call. How's this going so far for you? You feel like it's helping?
Yeah, it feels like one of those things that I have to just do over and over and over.
Yeah, I think about 2 days on the actual tables. You'll probably deal this twice a day. And about 2 days and you should get it. That's my guess.
Are there usually a lot of players pre-flop?
Oh, let's give this player 300 or something. Uh, this is pretty typical, honestly. The play that I'm doing, it's maybe a little bit too loose. They go pot.
15, 20, 25, 30.
Just going around with these hands. They call.
Okay, so we have 5 players.
And it goes check here. Uh, they bet 5.
150? No, I'm sorry. 155.
So in that case, your sentiment is good. You don't have to actually apologize. Just instantly correct it. You say 150, and they say no, no, 155. 5. I'm telling this for everybody. Uh, they're going to fold. And they call. And they call. They fold.
Three players.
And it, let's see. They go all in. 155 times 4? Close. No, just think about it.
David each for 1 6.
150 times 3 is 600.
No, just do 150 times 4 and then 5 times 4.
Oh, 150 times 4 is 600.
Right?
And then the other 620.
Yes.
What did I say? 615?
Yes. And I said close. They're going to call.
620.
They're going to call. Yeah. So as a dealer in that case, you would probably look at the other player's stack. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can still talk though. Yeah, here, come look. The action's done. Hmm. Yep, you're on camera. Exactly. Yeah. The Texas Card House shows up very nicely. Yeah. Would you like to be introduced or no? I didn't think so. All right. See you later.
On the outside.
So she said that player's in for the main and 350 on the outside. So, oh, I didn't actually see what you did, but I'll assume you did it right. No, no, you don't have to worry about it. If I don't see it, it's fine.
In the outside pot, those two players are in for the outside. These are in for the outside, they're in for the main.
All right.
Oh, no?
Yeah, you can put it.
Okay, so these two players are in for the
Second call for David H for 1 2. Kyle B for 2 5. Second call.
I'm just kidding.
ILC, do you want to finish choice?
So there was no low?
I did, but I see that there is one.
Oh, yeah, there's a low.
This player does not have a low.
Well, okay, please start with a high.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
So the high.
AUSC, do you want to finish choice?
Their high is going to
You can finish single 2.
So just to talk it through, and you did this already in your head, which is good, but I'm slowing it down a second. So you're looking at this board. There's no possible flush. There's no possible straight. There's no possible full house because there's no board pair, and because of that, you start looking for 3 of a kinds. So you see that they have a pocket pair of 4s. They missed their flush. They ended up rivering trip 4s. So
this player, their high is going to be probably 3. This is not a 3. 8-5 now.
8-5 is their best low. That's correct.
And the two cards they use is 3-5.
5-3, yes.
So they're gonna chop this pot right here because they have the high and they have the low.
Yep. D1 Key says, "Hey Mark, are there any videos, live streams where you can watch a game of No Limit Hold'em being dealt on your channel?" Not yet, but that's coming. I mean, being here at Texas Card House, stuff's a lot easier for me to do. I mean, look at this table. It wasn't hard for me to come, bring my equipment, and set up. So stuff like this, I'm very excited to start doing moving forward. And I appreciate your request for No Limit Hold'em.
So their high is gonna be 2 pairs, 2s and 4s, but they're gonna be 3 4s. They're in low, and they do not have a low. That's gonna be low.
So can you show the hand one more time?
Yeah.
So just to illustrate this, there's 3 cards on the board that are low cards, and this hand does have 3 low cards, but they don't get, because you can't use 2 from the hand that are different than the 3 on the board. 2 of them happen to be there. Now, just hypothetically, what if this was the board?
Now call for David H for 1 2. Corey M for 2-5.
What if this was the board?
If this is the board, they're low.
Kyle B for 1 2.
It still wouldn't have a low. So they can't do 8 2s, and they can't do 8
So that's actually not true. I'm not saying they'd have a winning low, but they would be able to go 8, 7, 4, 2, 8. So this is called a live ace. And you have one that pairs and one that doesn't, and there's 4 to it. So I just wanted you to see that. I wanted everyone to see that. But putting this back to the correct thing, you can chop it up and show this. You can chop it up and then you can come right back, and I'll just chat with the audience.
This is gonna go closest to the button, right?
So yeah, in a 1-2-5 game, you actually do break up the $1, and it goes to the high, which you gave it to the right person for that. Cool.
Okay, I will be right back.
Sounds good. Let me see. I'm gonna charge this. And here, I'm gonna deal out a hand. Let me try to set this up nicely for a complicated hand. No, that's not how it works. I'm just gonna sit here for a second, and what am I gonna do? I'll put the AirPod mic back on so you can hear me better. There it is. And I'm gonna deal out a hand myself. So we'll go like this. I'll put this over here. Yeah. We'll go blind like that.
For 1 2. Randall for 1 2. Second call for Kyle B for 1 2.
So let's see. We'll have this player act first, and we said we want to do a pot repot, so they're gonna pot to 15. This player will call. This player is going to call, and we'll have this player go pot. So it's going to be 15 times 3, 4, 5, right? So it's 15 times 5, because it's 15 times 3 plus the trail. but you can sort of take the shortcut of saying it's 15 times 3 times 4 because it's 15 there, 5 because it's 15 there. So 15 times 5 is 75, plus we count this plus this is 5 total, so we're saying 80. So this player is going to put out 80. And now I'll start looking at a couple hands to see if these guys are going to participate. No, this one's out. And let's see about this one. This player will call just for the action. And this is a fold. So this is the way that I like to make change for this. It's a shortcut. Like the way I'm supposed to do it is I'm supposed to put this here, take this here, put this in, put that in the pot, and then give them their change. But the thing I like to do is I take this out, I drop one here, throw that there, and then drop that in the well. It's a bit of a shortcut, but I don't mind teaching that in the flow of things. Let's see what this hand is. This is a muck. Yeah, whatever, they'll call. Normally it's a muck, but they'll call. And they'll call. We said it was 80, right? They'll call. They'll call. All right. So I'm just sort of taking, and I got to get two people change. So I'm going to ask this player to give me 5. I'm going to give him a quarter. And then, so notice I'm sort of leaving a mess here. I don't mind because I can clean it up in a second. And so now I'm saying that there are 6 players. And in my head, I'm saying 8 times 6 is 48, plus 5 is 485. And I stack this up as it's time for people to start acting. So now, what are they doing? This one, I think this one checks. Yeah. It's hard to look at these with one hand. I'm not doing well at this. This player is going to bet pot, which is, let's see. What did we say it was? It was 485, right? So it's 485. Yep. Let's see. So they go 485, just in time for Jazz to take over. And they call. There. So you would never do this, but I'm going to put the stub down and let her jump back in. And we'll see what this player does. This is 485 in here, and that's a 485 bet over there.
And it's $4.
Uh, yeah, they're all in for less.
It's a folder.
Yeah. They call.
There's a black chip. So they're calling.
They don't have enough.
One, two, three, 430. And the bet's 485.
485 was over here.
Okay. We're gonna start with the lowest stack, which is 75. 75.
Notice how clear she is as she's doing that. It's really important to be clear like that.
So that's part of their stack. They have 355. 355. So it's like 400 and give them back 45. That's gonna be their change. This is their pot. The outside pot. Okay. So those two players are in for this pot. This player is in for the man. Oh, they're in front of this side and the man. Got it? Alright, let's start with the highs. I see 3 aces over here with the 9. 3 aces with the 9. This high is, am I missing something? A6 and wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
They would push that up most likely.
Okay.
It's something that happens as you're sort of talking your game here. They're gonna make sure you see it.
Okay.
They're as worried as you are, for what it's worth.
Okay. So they have a full house. Their high is king
Well,
queen.
since you're looking at this hand, why don't you read what their low is as well?
Oh, true. So they have a full house for a high. Their low. The two cards that they're going to use are ace four. Oh no. 6 4. Oh, or 8.
Do they have a low?
Yes, they have a low. And
Eight,
their low is going to be 4 8.
8 4. Yes. So they've an 8 7 6 4 ace. Yep.
Okay. So they have four things. So they win the low. Wait, it's ace four. Wait, oh, okay. So they win the low, which is ace four, and they win the high. Or ace six.
Yep.
So they're high. They don't use ace point sixes. They don't flush or anything like that. So their low is going to be. Don't have a low. It would have been do six, but they put it to six, so they don't have a low. So they finish with going to be left, and they're going to split the.
Yep. Uh,
Can I break this down?
in a 1-2-5 game, yes, or at least that's what they do here. So I'll say yes. If it was a 2-5 or a 5-5, where the big blind is 5 or more, then you do $5 increments. Even though you can't bet in your loose change doesn't play in a game like this, but they do break it down that way. I don't know. So let's see. Gustavo says, "Hey Mark, too bad about the travel ban to U.S. Euros because of the virus. Hoping it eventually gets taken down so I can play some poker over there. I'm so jealous." Well, listen, come to Texas because it's really fun out here. Uh, Life says, "Just got in here. I love your content and have shared your channel with others. Dealing cards is the best decision I made in a long time. Thanks for all the great advice. Really appreciate that very much." I mean, I told someone yesterday because they sent me an email with appreciation for the help that I gave them learning to deal, and it's like it sort of never gets old, honestly. Um, all right, so now we're gonna do something else. Just put that to either side, doesn't matter. We're gonna do something else now. So at this particular house, they sometimes deal double board Congress,
Love that.
double board 5 cards. So the same game we're doing, we're gonna do double board. And because they don't want it to be too ridiculous, where each board has a high and each board has a low, and you sometimes like instead of quartering, you can give 1/8 if people chop a low. We're going to do ultimate high and ultimate low. So they have a game here. It's called Dealer's Choice. They deal it as a 1-3, and sometimes the players will deal this game with 5 card high low double board. But what ultimate high and ultimate low means, and I don't know if they do this anywhere else, but you're going to be working here, so you might as well experience this once. It means that between the two boards, the highest high gets half the pot, and between the two boards, the lowest low gets half the pot.
Okay.
All right?
So there's usually only two players, so two winners in that situation.
Sometimes. I mean, occasionally there's not one low between the two boards, and then it's just the high out of all of it. But we're gonna deal that, and this is only something you can deal 7-handed. So even, they have them sit 8-handed at the table, but they don't allow this particular game unless there's 7 players or less.
How do they decide?
It's literally like if all 8 are there, you can't do it. The most action you can do is PLO 8, which is 4 card high low and double board.
Okay.
Yeah, but how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 right now, so it works.
What are the blinds in this one?
I mean, in this house, this is the dealer's choice. So when the player that has the dealer button chooses it's 1-3 in this house. But I mean, technically the blinds could be anything. But we'll say 1-3, and it's still a $5 call.
Okay. And it's still 5 cards?
5 cards, yeah. So again, we're going to bring 2 boards here. Now, I'm not going to tell you that the procedure that is used here is universal in every way, but this is what's done here, so it's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take a look at this right here, and this is still pot limit. This player will call.
This is still considered a $5 bet, right?
Yeah, yeah, that part's the same. This player is going to raise pot. Cool to see, but nope, they're folding. We wouldn't let them fold face up. This one has 6 cards.
That's not right.
All right, let's put that on the bottom of your deck.
One of the cards probably stuck together.
You got
But
it.
in that situation, it's a 4 card, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So they're the big ones.
Yeah, it would be a floor call. We've had all this action. They didn't say anything. Their hand would probably just be dead. They'll call. Yeah, we did that solution because I'm trying to do a demo here. And call.
4 players. So do I put an extra?
Oh yeah, and you don't burn again. You just bring it.
So 1 burns, but 2 flops.
That's what they do here. Yeah. Let's see. So this player is going to bet pot.
105.
Oh yeah. And again, it's 4 times 25, and there was a small blind that folded, so that gets rounded up to 5. Is where she got that from. In case you're trying to follow along on your own. Let's see. This player will fold, and this player will call. Clean up this mess over here.
Heads up. So I just bring.
Yeah. This player checks, and this player bets 100. This player calls. Um, this player, let's see, it's going to go check pot.
515.
You sure?
Yeah. Oh, you guys, so much turning on.
Perfect.
Did you not know? That's what you asked.
I'm busy.
You didn't believe me.
Not after the last times. And they'll call.
Hold on. Okay, so question. The way this works is top board first, then bottom board.
So it's the highest high wins the high half, and the lowest low wins the low half.
So already I see quad aces here.
So quad aces is probably
And
going to win the high, unless there's a straight flush.
and deuce three. So that's the lowest of both boards.
The lowest low of both boards.
Okay.
Correct. So let me stop you for a second. On the top board, is there a possible low?
No.
Okay. On the bottom board, is there a possible low?
No.
Then we're done here.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay, cool. So then
Wait. Now what?
there's a possible low here,
All right.
not on the top one. And ace. There's still a low in
There's
each of
still
these
no
hands.
qualifying low. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Just wanted to come up with a little bit of curveball stuff. So yeah, they scoop. So before taking the money, you always kill their hand. Yep. You guys have not met Jazz. She flops quads. Okay. So, is there anything that you feel like you want to practice now?
I'll do that board again.
The double board high low. All right.
Might be something color.
I'll go check it out. It's just like it's a lot. Training and live streaming is definitely harder than just training. Let's see. Nope, all the same. Yep. So again, we're dealing double board, ultimate high, ultimate low, big O.
Oh, that's where the ultimate comes in. Cause it's like the ultimate.
Yeah, that's what that means. The ultimate is referring to the truly highest high and the truly lowest low. The ultimate one, if you will. Okay. Looking at the hands, foldy, foldy pants.
Alright. Look at that one.
Pot.
Maybe some high sense.
Right. So notice that she did not count the money that was already in front of her. It's when you're calculating the pot, you do not count the trail in front of the active player. So 15, 20, 25, 30. No, it wasn't because of what you said.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's call.
so we have 5 players. This player's first.
They. Can you bring a second board, please?
Oh, yeah.
That'll happen. Let's see. Um, they check. This player says pot. Is that right? How?
Oh,
It was,
5 players times 30.
it was 25. No, 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 it was 30. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
150.
Yep.
I guess I thought it was 6 players.
So this player said pot for 150.
Yeah.
What?
You're so hard.
Yeah, I do.
Do they care if I like grab it like that?
I don't think so. They don't say anything to me. Um, but
900.
so it's 150 times how much?
5
There's 5 players
plus the main.
and there's a main pot,
So
which is
6.
yeah. So you got it right. I'm just allowing other people to hear it.
So 150 times 6.
Yeah, 900. And everybody calls.
Everybody. Alright. So we're rolling for 20.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go from the main pot, $20. 20. This is theirs, right?
Oh, put
Oh,
that
no,
back.
that's part of their stock. So I'll take this from the 900. 20 and 20. Alright, so now this player is in also. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. I'm gonna put that pot right here. 525. 525.
Notice how she's going around the table in one direction. It makes it a lot easier.
5.
She's also allowing people to clearly see where this is, like what she's counting out.
So this is 5.
Sometimes dealers have a tendency to go a little bit too fast.
525. So that's this pot right here. So this player is in for this pot and the main equation for the main. The rest can just be on the side. These players had enough.
So it's an active pot.
Yes,
So
this is the active pot.
you notice she's still stacking everything here. Now, as a dealer, you don't have to keep track of how much is in the pot anymore. If they were super deep, then you would. And the way you would do that is you take the largest amount, you'd multiply and add that first, and then you would add the short stacks that were left over
So
to
this
the number you
player
already
is
had.
first.
Uh, let's see. Let's have everybody check because now it would just be doing math and or counting bets, and there's no real point in that. So we're going to show down these hands here
For the outside?
for the outside first. This one also.
Alright, so the ultimate high 310.
So just to say it, we're the first thing that we're looking for. What's the first thing you're looking for the high?
Full house possibility.
There's no board pair, so that's not possible. So what's the best possible high that somebody could have between these two boards? This is the way to look at these boards, by the
So
way. What are you looking for? Right off the bat, you're
three
looking.
aces.
No, right off the bat, you're looking for clubs. Down here, there's 3 clubs, so you're looking for clubs right away. Nobody has it though. So what's the next thing you're looking for?
A straight
A
possibility.
straight, and there's only a couple of possible straights here.
3, 5.
You would have to have either a 9 for a straight here, or not just a 9. Like a 9 is the key card there, or a 3-5 over here. So do you see either of those?
No.
You sure you don't see either of those?
Oh, I did see a 9.
So do they have a straight?
No. Oh, yeah. Wait, no. They don't.
Yeah, they do. The 7-9 is a straight.
Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. That's correct. Geez, that's so hard to see.
Well, the practice gets you there, though.
Yeah.
The thing that's going to be a little tough, though, when you get to the table, the players know what their hands are.
Yeah.
So they're just going to be like, just do this and just do this. And you gotta just take that second and see it yourself and say, okay, I'll do it, but show it to me. Right?
Okay.
But this is your order. Your thinking is there's no board pairs, so there's no full houses. Clubs is the next thing I see. Nobody has that. Okay, so where are my straights?
Okay. So yeah, that is straight. Nobody has a 3-5. So that is the highest, the ultimate high. Is what I would say, right?
So the high, because
That's the
it's
high.
already called ultimate high. So you're just looking for a high for half the pot. So now do you see a low? What is the best low here?
Seems like the best low would be 3, 6.
Frame it uh,
Oh,
on the board.
so 3-6 there, and then 3-6 here.
Well, so here's the thing. Here is not that low of a low because the
Okay.
6-3 here is going to be an 8-6-5-3 ace.
Okay.
Okay, that's an 8 low. Over here though, it's a 6-4-3 deuce ace. So it's a 6-4 low. So a 6-4 in this case with ultimate low between the two, you actually have to say like the highest two cards. You have to say it's a 6-4.
6-4 low.
Yeah,
So they're using 6-3, but for 6-4.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they have the lowest low, and they have the highest high. This player doesn't beat any of those.
correct.
So this hand is going to be much.
Yeah.
So these two players are going to flip this Johnny in.
Wait. Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. Sorry, I'm that player.
I'm sure I did that. Okay. I did that for you.
I would say it's a lot better to always get in the habit of going largest denomination first, like this, with no exceptions. That goes to the high.
And up there. So the next one, I believe, was this
Yep,
one.
for the outside.
So their high does not beat a straight. Yeah, their high does not beat a straight.
What are you looking for? As soon as they open this hand up, what are you looking for?
Clubs.
Yeah.
Don't have
And
straight.
the only thing that would beat this low, there's only one low that beats this.
Is it 5-6?
5-3.
5-3.
Because here you got 3 to a perfect low.
Wouldn't that be a straight?
It would also be a straight, but oh yeah, that's fine in this game. In all the low games, the straight still counts as a
As a
low.
low?
Yeah, it's you don't the straight doesn't matter. It's only deuce to 7 where that matters.
Okay. So their high is 3-4, which doesn't be straight. Their low 8-4, so not even.
Well, yeah, the 8 they do have a low because the 7 can be a part of it. So they could have an 8-7-4 deuce ace, but it's not strong enough.
Yeah, it doesn't beat the 3-6.
Yeah,
This hand's gonna be much.
you can split that up.
This
Yeah, that pot gets split while we're doing this. Just as a habit, you do want to pay the high first, but it's not a big deal.
No, this hand has good poker. They have a flush, which beats their high, the net flush, and their low 8-6 does not beat their low. So I can milk this hand at this point.
Yep.
They still have the best low. So these two players are gonna split this pot.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll go to the comments. Life asked the question, is it a general principle to split the pot ahead of time, or if you see a possible low, or is it best to keep that information to yourself? So, as a dealer of any high-low game, you always stack the pot and assume that you don't want to give any information away. But you stack the pot, period, if it's a split pot game. Um, Nowadays you see some double board bomb pots where it's half the pot goes to the high hand on the top board, half the pot goes to the high hand on the low board. Uh, by that I mean the lower board, the one that's down below. You also stack the pot in those games as well. So anytime you're splitting pots at all, you stack it, and if there is no qualifying low between all the hands, it doesn't matter. You keep it stacked because you're not going to be the one to give away that information. All right, I think that's been enough for me. um, you can come slide if you want. It's been cool, guys. I hope that this has been helpful and informative to you all. I'm probably going to slide this into the paid bonus mix games course, but I figured since I'm doing training, I could film it, create a little bit of content, a little more practice. Do you have any questions before we wrap up?
Not really. I think most of this, it's really hard in the beginning. I always tell people like learning poker is just hard. It's a hard thing in general. Um, but it's just one of those things where you just do it over and over and over, and then you'll get the hang of it. Oh, should I be in the camera?
If you want, you can say hey to people.
But yeah, I just think it's one of those things that takes practice and repetition and whatnot. But yeah, I think I'll get it. It'll be cool to watch this back when I'm like doing this 100 times a day and being like, wow, I sucked back then.
Yeah, that's actually true, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys coming and watching. We got some cleanup to do over here, but I also appreciate your comments and your requests, and I'll be back next Tuesday doing something. We'll see what. Not sure yet, but take it easy, guys.